Before Asha learned to listen, his words filled every silence he encountered. He believed speaking kept fear away. The elders told him his voice mattered, but the bamboo forest would teach him what words could never explain. The bamboo forest woke before the sun, mist lying low on the ground. Tall green stalks creaked and tapped as wind moved through them, speaking wordlessly. Asha walked alone, a young shrine keeper sent to carry his bell forward. He was chosen because he spoke fast and thought even faster than that. The elders promised his voice would keep away all the fear around him. As Asha walked, he talked to the forest, argued with the very mist. He told the bamboo who he was and exactly where he was going. The path split at a stone marked with old cuts pointing different directions. Asha spoke aloud, weighing the signs, talking until his throat went completely dry. While he spoke endlessly, the mist thickened and closed around him like walls. He chose the left path and walked on as the ground began sinking. Mud pulled at his feet while cold water filled his sandals without mercy. Asha cursed the forest loudly and shouted his anger at the indifferent bamboo. The stalks bent and knocked together loudly, drowning his voice in their sound. He slipped and fell hard. The bell struck stone and rang out once. The sound was clear and clean, cutting through the forest like a blade. Asha froze completely. The bamboo stilled. Even the wind seemed to pause entirely. Asha stood slowly and listened to the silence he had never heard before. In the quiet, he heard water flowing gently somewhere to his right side. He had missed the stream before when his own voice drowned everything out. Now he followed its sound carefully and climbed out of the thick mud. He walked again, but this time much slower than before. His mouth stayed closed. The forest moved around him differently now. Leaves brushed his arms like whispers. Mist cooled his face gently as he walked in silence through the forest. When he reached a clearing, everything seemed to open up before him beautifully. He saw an old hunter sitting on a fallen stalk, perfectly still and patient. The man's hair was white as mountain snow. His eyes were impossibly sharp. Asha bowed respectfully and began to speak his greeting to the old hunter. The hunter raised one finger slowly, stopping all words before they could escape. They sat in silence together as the forest breathed around them both quietly. Asha felt deeply uneasy in the silence. He wanted to fill every empty space. Words pressed against his lips, desperate to escape, but the hunter remained completely still. After a long time passed in silence, the hunter finally stood and moved. Kaito walked ahead silently. Asha followed without asking where they were going at all. They reached a narrow bridge of roots over a deep ravine where wind rushed. Wind rushed far below them. The bridge swayed slightly with each gust of air. Asha opened his mouth to warn the hunter, then stopped himself completely still. The hunter stepped where the roots were thick, testing each step with his weight. Asha watched carefully and copied him exactly, learning only through silent observation now. They crossed safely together without a single word spoken between them at all. On the far side stood the forgotten altar, wrapped completely in climbing vines. Vines wrapped its ancient stones tightly. Moss covered its weathered face like memory. Asha placed the bell on the altar with gentle hands and deep reverence. He did not speak a prayer this time. He simply bowed and listened. The bell rang again clearly, though no hand had touched it at all. The sound rolled through the bamboo like ancient wisdom and slowly faded away. The hunter was gone when Asha turned around. He had vanished like morning mist. Asha stayed until night fell, sitting in silence he no longer feared at all. When he returned to the village, everything about him had changed completely inside. The elders asked him what he had seen on his journey through the forest. He bowed deeply and said very little to them. He kept his eyes low. He set the mud-stained bell before them, letting it speak for his entire journey. The elders nodded slowly with understanding. They knew what the forest had taught him. From that day on, Asha spoke much less than he ever had before. When others argued around him, he listened deeply to every word they spoke. When paths split before him now, he waited patiently in the quiet stillness. The forest still spoke its ancient wisdom, and now Asha could finally hear it.